Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Is gold's price about to erupt? Let's explore! What you are looking at here are the precious metal prices on the close of business on Friday. As you know, they took a pretty big hit. Silver with the brunt of the force at over 3%, down to $24.47 here, well under $25. Gold took over 2.25 percentage points drop and down $41 to $17.6410. You know, it is something to see, but that pretty big drop is pretty volatile, which means it could snap back just as quickly. And typically that's kind of what happens. But we have the weekend, or we had the weekend to think about it, but we're getting much closer to the markets being opened. And this is something that makes us wonder, well, what's going on here, and what is affecting these prices? Well, there's a lot going on in the economy these days. We know there's a lot of psychology in the markets, but I kind of liken some of it to the power, the unpredictability, and the predictability that we see, especially in a place like Yellowstone National Park. Yes, indeed. Yellowstone National Park has the Old Faithful geyser, and that is a geyser that faithfully erupts pretty much within 10 minutes of every hour. You can predict that geyser will spurt forth, and it is quite a sight to see if you've ever been there. But nonetheless, the whole park essentially is sitting on a massive volcano. We're going to talk a little bit more about a volcanic type of activity further in the video here, but you can liken, in a sense, the unpredictability and the predictability of what's going on with the precious metal prices with Yellowstone National Park. And you think about it, the Old Faithful geyser, when that erupts, well, it's predictable. It's time. And just like with gold, what happens? Gold goes down when there's good economic news and whenever the dollar index is strong. And the bond yields and these market conditions, you know, you can pretty much count on it, just like Old Faithful, that the prices are going to go down for gold. And the opposite is true. If the dollar index is down and the economy and there's bad economic numbers that come down, well, gold prices go up. And really the same for silver, but even more so with gold. It's the fear factor that comes into play, and that's something that is certainly predictable. And as you know, Old Faithful, typically its geyser goes up to about 140 feet, but not much more than that. When it erupts, again, quite a sight to see, but not nearly the sight that you would see if the Yellowstone itself erupted as that massive volcano. And that is something that would be very scary for the entire region. In fact, probably for the whole country. It would be devastating. It would certainly have a global impact if that were to happen. Now, there's geologists and scientists have been kind of speculating about what's going to happen there, and no one really knows when it will occur. Probably not in our lifetimes, but nonetheless, stranger things have happened. Now, the economy is a different sort. We know we are in trouble in this world, not just here in the United States, with modern monetary theory being practiced around the world, easing monetary policy being implemented by central banks around the world. That could do nothing but be bullish for the precious metals. It only takes a trigger or two to really cause things to erupt. And I'm not talking about just a predictable 140-foot spout of a geyser. I'm talking about something much higher in terms of prices. Now the words, and you've heard me talk about $5,000 silver, how it could be possible in 5 years. Others have talked about $10,000 gold, $5,000 gold. People have been talking about $1,000 silver, $100 silver. Those numbers have been bantered about with some reasons behind it. I don't want to necessarily go there and make any predictions, but nonetheless, I think there's a lot of signs that gold and silver will climb over the years. As to what they will go, I don't know. It's better if it happens slowly, but ideally, I would rather the economic situation improve and everything stabilize. And yes, that means gold and silver prices too, because no matter what kind of economic condition or market conditions that are out there, gold and silver serve as a safe haven through good times and bad. Through the good times, people forget about it, and typically through the good times, they are cheaper to acquire or less expensive, because it's never a cheap thing to have gold and silver in one's portfolio, really, no matter the form, but preferably, at least for me, it's the physical form. But I believe in diversification in all levels for precious metals. And that brings us to the sponsored portion of this video from STRPF Mining, which is an exploration company focused on the acquisition and exploration of high-value gold projects in Canada. They're already a success story. A company called Amex Exploration has hit some big holes, and STRPF owns not only the property right next to them, but also the crown jewel of the region, the past producing mine where modern drilling has never been conducted, and that's where the mother lode, in other words, the main vein, which is the source of the mineral riches, is believed to be. Amex's stock has already moved up by 700%, but STRPF has not even doubled yet. So it's like the second chance to participate in a mad gold rush that's still in its infancy. It's all about location, being located next to a very successful area already, and not having to spend as much money in order to do it. It's a big under-the-radar winner that has the potential to become a huge success story, even more so than it is right now. The stock is up 60% just in the past 6 months. And for 2021, it's up 69%. If you measure it over the past 12 months, it is up over 81%. Add to the fact that at present the open market price is much lower than recent financing, where accredited investors purchase stock. Literally, today's price is discounted compared with what the institutional money paid. So when you think about location of the property, Canada's Quebec province, a massive 1.7 square kilometer, contains one of the most diverse collections of metals in the world. Only 1% of it is being mined, and only 5% is covered by mining rights. It's a mecca of gold, silver, iron, nickel, titanium, niobium, copper, and zinc. Within Quebec, these projects are the mineral-rich sub-province of Abitibi, one of the most prospective geological sub-terrances in the world for gold. Quebec is one of the most attractive provinces for mining, especially in gold mining, as over 90% of the province's substratum is made up of Precambrian rock, which is a geologic formation well known for its deposits of gold, iron, copper, nickel. Together with Ontario, Quebec accounted for 75% plus of mined gold production in Canada in 2019. STRPF Mining have discovered something so rare that it is literally considered the holy grail of the mining world, since so few companies have ever discovered it. It has eluded the major players for a century. It's a volcanetic massive sulfide deposit with rock containing multiple base metals, including zinc, copper, silver, and gold. STRPF was after gold, but what it encountered on its first drill hole was much more. It's a volcanogenic, kind of reminds us of what Yellowstone is. It's essentially sitting on a huge volcano. Another company acquired a property in this area and hit a huge hole containing gold. Before they could even announce it, STRPF bought another land package adjacent to a company called Amex Exploration. Once that company hit the epic hole, its share price had gone from 6 cents to $3.90, which is a 6,500% move in just 3 years. While that opportunity has diminished, STRPF is just beginning. It's almost as if someone had missed the 2009 gold low, but was able to get in at the 2016 bottom. Think about that. Pretty amazing. Because of the strong drilling results, I'm going to show you some images of some of these core samples were taken by STRPF Mining here. STRPF has announced in the recent months these results. An unprecedented collaboration has happened. Right before STRPF announced its maiden drill results with evidence of VMS discovery, the chairman and founder of AMEX was appointed to STRPF's chief technical advisor. It's Dr. Jacques Trottier, PhD, who's a seasoned geologist with experience on these VMS-type deposits. Because of the major success of its drilling program, the company just announced that it has increased its fully funded drilling program from 20,000 meters to 40,000 meters on the new metal project. The best place to find a huge gold deposit is right next to another mine. And that's been the story here. That's kind of the success here. It's critical to keep in mind that this was the original strategy of both AMEX exploration and of STRPF, was to purchase a project right next to the past producing Nor Metal mine. Contained within the property is Nor Metal, a mine that has produced more than 10 million ounces of ore containing gold, silver, copper, and zinc between 1926 and 1975. The mine was so productive that a town of the same name sprang up around it. For STRPF, this is like drilling in a treasure box. And so when you think about it, the timing is very important here. There's no better narrative than a fully funded junior miner making a discovery and looking to de-risk in the exploration phase, in contrast with a big miner making a discovery which doesn't move the needle on the valuation that much. And so you think about of what they have to do and what they have to invest compared to what the original exploration company had to invest. And that includes infrastructure and discovery and drill results and costs. It's just amazing what has already been spent there by its predecessors. And so there's huge potential here, I believe, in a company like this. And they have a pretty stellar team working for them in management here as well. Addition of Rivas Ruggiere as Vice President of Exploration. Mr. Ruggiere brings over 40 years of experience in the mining exploration and a development business, including as President and CEO of Vision Lithium. He was responsible for the initial discovery of the Berry Lake gold deposit and also participated in the discovery and definition of Arrivos L uranium gold deposit as well. 2021 for the company in general, for STRPF, is certainly looking to be a strong year, and not only for STRPF, but for exploration budgets, driven by the continued rise in base metal prices and by the lack of pipeline investment, which is leading many base metals towards market deficits over the next several years. Combined with these two factors are expected to help drive exploration activity to pre-pandemic levels in the base case and register a 15 to 20% year-over-year growth if the pricing environment remains strong, which it has so far. And you've seen me cover some of these exploration companies with some potential here. But as is always the case, do your own due diligence and research to and ask questions. There are contact information on these pages as well, where you can ask and inquire about their company and peruse their website, which I will link to in the description section below. But it is exciting times indeed, and that's just it. Why are we seeing these exploration companies pop up? And why are they so well funded? And why are they backed up by big players? And the people that are running these companies are putting a lot of their own money into it, investing their own personal resources for success, because they see the potential that gold has, and the need for it. And the demand is going to be growing. And why is this? Because, well, gold is a metal, as is really all precious metals. And you have two rules. Gold is valued and treasured. Silver and the base metals, well, they are needed for the industrial side. And we can go one of two ways. As an economy, we could continue to grow and expand and see the demand in certain sectors in one area. But we know that throughout this, there's going to be increased demand for gold. Gold is rare. So if you can find some in the ground, especially utilizing drill results and the performance of past exploration mining companies whose stock has gone up so much and that opportunity has diminished, this provides a new opportunity for some of these other companies that come in place. And Star Peak has got a pretty good track record, and it looks like they are ready to rock and roll in the world of mining. But do your own due diligence, do your own research. I know some of these exploration stocks aren't for everyone, but I cover this as part of a sponsored video to provide some opportunities, because I know there's many of my viewers who have really diversified in the world of precious metals, and this is one area that you can do so and potentially do well. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.